The youngest son of Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, a boy most people have only caught glimpses of in fleeting paparazzi shots, has just made the global media turn their heads. Not because he's the child of two of the most powerful Hollywood superstars of the past decade, but because he recently appeared with an impressive height, strikingly handsome and masculine features, and, most notably, the moment he received a gold medal on his 17th birthday. It's an image too perfect to overlook. Yet behind it lies a fascinating story of how a teenager has chosen to live quietly in the midst of a fame storm, and why many observers believe his future could one day surpass even that of his legendary father, Brad Pitt. We are talking about Knox Jolie-Pitt, a name rarely splashed across the media, yet each appearance leaves the public surprised by his maturity, composure, and lifestyle choices that completely defy the stereotypical image of celebrity children, who are often associated with glamour and scandal. What has allowed Knox to remain calm, measured in his words, and committed to his own path, while surrounded by camera flashes, divorce rumors, and his parents' custody battles? This is not just a celebrity story. It's also a lesson on how the children of the famous seek their personal identity in a world where every step is scrutinized. First, let's look at the obvious: appearance, something the media and the public are always drawn to first. At only 17 years old, Knox already boasts an impressive height. Many sources suggest he's approaching or has even surpassed 6 feet 1 inch, 1.85 meters, making him taller than Brad Pitt in his youth. His face carries a rare blend, the strong, chiseled features of Brad Pitt combined with the deep eyes and expressive lips of Angelina Jolie. What's remarkable is that Knox does not use his looks as a tool for personal branding. Unlike many nepo babies, children of celebrities, who leverage their advantage to enter showbiz early, he appears in public only when necessary, accompanying his mother to select events or in casual family outings caught by the paparazzi. This restraint makes his image even more mysterious, and the more mysterious he becomes, the more curious the public grows. But the most striking moment was when Knox received a gold medal on his 17th birthday. It wasn't an award for acting or any artistic achievement, the fields his parents dominate, but a sports accomplishment. Choosing to pursue and succeed in sports shows that Knox is carving out a completely different path, one that steps out from the enormous shadow of his family. This is why many media experts believe he has a future that could surpass Brad Pitt, not because he'll necessarily be more famous or wealthier, but because he is building his image in a sustainable, independent way, less vulnerable to the brutal pressures of the entertainment industry. Looking deeper, Knox's case also reflects a broader trend among the younger generation of celebrity children: a growing disinterest in traditional fame, and a stronger inclination to protect their private lives and explore themselves through lower-profile pursuits. While many people think being born into a famous family is a golden ticket into showbiz, Knox proves that such a ticket can also be used to swim against the current, to choose a different arena with rules set by oneself. This not only eases the pressure of being compared to his parents, but also allows the audience to see him as an individual, rather than just the younger version of Brad Pitt or Angelina Jolie. Moreover, Knox grew up during one of the most public and contentious divorces in Hollywood history. This long-running battle drained both parents and was relentlessly exploited by the media. Amid all that noise, most of their children chose to remain silent and limit public statements. As the youngest, Knox may have learned early on that silence can be one of the most effective forms of self-protection. And this deliberate low profile has inadvertently become part of his personal brand. The less he says, the more people want to know. So where will Knox go from here? Some predict he might pursue a professional sports career, while others think he could follow in his mother's footsteps as a humanitarian. There are also those who believe that, with his looks and charisma, if Knox ever chooses to enter the film industry, he could make a powerful impact, but only if it's on his own terms, not because his parents arranged it. If that happens, the public will witness a rare case: someone with star blood reaching the top in his own way, slowly, steadily, and surely. After his parents' divorce in 2016, Knox, the youngest son of Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, chose to live with his mother in Los Angeles. Since then, amid the noise, legal battles, and public statements from his siblings against their famous father, Knox has remained the only one who has kept absolute silence, never once criticizing or taking sides. He has also not dropped the Pitt surname, unlike most of his brothers and sisters. Yet, on his recent birthday, a milestone 17th year, Brad Pitt was completely absent. His absence not only left fans disappointed, but also opened the door to a wave of questions. Is the relationship between Knox and his father quietly fracturing? Or is this simply the inevitable result of family conflicts after years of divorce? What could have caused one of Hollywood's most iconic family figures to seem so distant that his youngest son would celebrate his birthday without him? To understand this, one must look back at the turbulent backdrop of the Jolie-Pitt family. The divorce of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie was not just a personal split. It was a near-decade-long legal war, entangled with custody rights, property disputes, and reputation. Throughout this process, many of their children openly expressed support for their mother, even legally removing Pitt from their names as a symbolic act. Knox, however, did not. His silence and decision to keep the Pitt surname could be seen as a sign of independence, careful consideration, or simply a way to preserve a thread of connection to his father, however fragile, in a divided family. Still, Brad Pitt's absence from Knox's birthday makes it hard for the public not to question the strength of their bond. In a famous family, every action, or lack thereof, is scrutinized and interpreted from multiple angles. Some view it as evidence of a cooling relationship. Others believe it may just be a matter of scheduling or post-divorce legal constraints. Yet, from a family psychology perspective, a parent's absence at a child's major milestones, especially during adolescence, often leaves emotional gaps that are hard to fill. Knox may never speak of it, but such experiences become part of the memory that shapes how he will view the father-son relationship in the years ahead. It's worth noting that Knox has never been a loud presence in the media. He grew up under the constant flashes of paparazzi cameras, yet rarely appears at public events. This discretion, from a personal brand perspective, is an advantage. It spares him the image burnout that many celebrity kids face when overexposed from a young age. But precisely because of this low profile, every rare detail about his life gets magnified and overanalyzed by the public. A 17th birthday without his father becomes a key data point for the media and fans to construct narratives about the state of the family. In the post-divorce family dynamic, Knox holds a unique position. He is both the youngest child and potentially the only remaining bridge between Brad Pitt and his children, simply because he has not publicly renounced his father's surname. In a family where siblings have symbolically cut ties, the one who keeps the name could be the last channel of connection, even if only on paper. But if the distance between father and son continues to grow, that bridge risks collapsing as well. When that happens, the Jolie-Pitt saga will no longer just be a divorce story, but a textbook example of a complete breakdown in celebrity family ties, leaving no threads to mend. From another perspective, Knox's choice to remain silent may reflect a deliberate strategy to protect himself from media pressure. While his siblings have taken clear stances, Knox has chosen not to speak, a way of maintaining control over his own narrative. Silence, however, doesn't necessarily mean agreement or disagreement. It's a gray zone that allows him more options for the future. But silence also comes at a cost. Without an official voice, the public and the media will create the story for him. And a birthday without his father is the perfect material to fuel those stories. The question is, how long will Knox continue along this quiet path? At 17, he is stepping into adulthood, a stage where family relationships are reevaluated with a more mature lens. If Brad Pitt wants to preserve his relationship with his youngest son, presence, both physical and emotional, is essential. Conversely, if the gap continues to widen, there may come a day when Knox follows his siblings' lead and removes Pitt from his name as a definitive statement of his stance. At that point, the last bridge between Brad Pitt and his children will be gone. And perhaps what leaves the public both curious and regretful is not just a birthday party missing a famous father, but a deeper question. How many opportunities are left to repair a father-son relationship when time and distance have already eroded most of the closeness they once had?